You know, this Vedic astrology, the knowledge of Vedic astrology, it is connected to spirituality, very close to spirituality. This knowledge is the knowledge of cosmos, the mysterious aspects of this existence, human life, human being, the existence of human being, or the existence of life in itself. When I would be sharing each and every word with you during these 7 days, along with this knowledge, I'm, I would be sharing the meditative energy with you. So not only you will be getting the Vedic astrology knowledge, you will be getting the energy of my meditation with you. Okay, so you would not be the same person after 7 days. And in the beginning, when I would be explaining certain things, your brain is active, feel like asking many things. So make a note of it. By the end of third or fourth day, all the questions which you have written would be answered automatically. Because if the very first or second session, if I get involved in your questions and answers, then I would not be able to cover the syllabus, the 7 days. Okay? So the more you listen, the more you go deep into it. I want you should listen not only with your ears, but with your all senses. Let your whole being listen to me. Only then that seed of Vedic astrology will enter into your subconscious mind. Okay? Since the childhood, you know, we come across various kind of suggestions, various kind of information, guidelines, which our parents give, which our teachers, our professors, our lecturers, they provide us. Okay? And every child, based on these guidelines, based on these suggestions, they have the information, and what they do, they start living life. But as we grow up, rare intelligent people, they start observing in a very different angle that the suggestions, the guidelines, the information which have been provided, which is being entered into my system, life is not moving that way. Life is moving like a paradox. It is said, hard work, pay attention, be a good people, all these things. But we observe only rare intelligent people that in spite of working hard, things are not working in our way. And sometimes we are not working hard and things are going in our way. And we are so much truthful, dutiful, but why luck is running away from us? Yeah. So, in spite of regular effort, following virtues, luck is moving away from us. We do not feel sometimes fortunate enough. So all the suggestions given by our teachers, or all the good books, you can win, how to influence people, all those influential books, they are good books, but when we start observing life, they do not fit. Life moves on its own accord in a very mysterious paths. Huh? And sometimes we are not able to answer the questions of life even if we have all the informations. we get attracted to certain people, and we find, I don't know why this attraction is coming. And even that guy could be of, all bad words being used along with that. But why we are getting attracted? Why we feel like sharing our secrets to some people, not to everybody? And why some people we hate without any reason? Very kind of mysterious things are happening around. So the intelligent child, when he grows up, he start observing, and then there arises a curiosity in the mind that there must be something which is not connected to this bookish knowledge or the knowledge or the guidance which has been given to us by our parents or teachers. So there must be some mysterious aspect of life. Astrology is for those people who has that deep thirst of mysterious knowledge. Okay? The sages, the rishis, the yogis, in the deep meditation, they have evolved this science, or this science has happened through their evolution. Okay? They, in India, the surgery was developed very late, the later part. It was earlier developed in the West countries. But we had big, Upanishads, Vedas, or big books where very minute detail of surgeries written in the books. Those people who has developed or discovered, invented surgery, they are surprised. Why? Who has written these books? The surgery science was never developed in India, but why? How come this books is 500 years old, and so minutely everything is mentioned? It is because of meditation. Through meditation, they got the skill to see what is inside, to see their body inwardly. The same way, these sages, the rishis, the yogis, and those meditators, they, in their deep meditation, they start feeling that life has a connection with the existence, with the universe. We are not a separate identity. We are not the separate identity. We are connected with all the planets, with all the stars. Whatever is happening in the existence, we are connected with it. And they are also connected with it. For example, if some changes in sun influenced our life, vice versa. If any change happens in our life, the influence is there in the sun also. But we do not have the parameters to understand or to observe the changes. Both the things are from both ways. So they go very deep, and this science has been developed. See, so what they have done through their deep meditation energy, they have developed a graph. You can draw this line, this rectangle box, and somewhere in the middle join these. So this is the graph which they have invented, the sages. And what they have explained, that human life is enclosed or revolves around this graph. By understanding this graph, we can understand the life of human or whatever the life. So the higher realm is human life. So I would be concentrating on human life. Okay. So this is the graph. This is the primary thing which I am going to explain. When we are, visible on this planet Earth for 9 months, we are in the womb, and the very first step we come out from mother's womb, this graph start active. It becomes active. How it becomes active, I would be explaining that. Okay. First of all, I'll just tell you, these are 12 boxes. Let's name it first, second, third, anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. Even if I do not put the numbers, by default these are the 12 houses. Once you are thorough with all the numbers, all the placement, I may not be putting the numbers. So first, and adjacent is second, anti-clockwise would be moving. First to house number 2. This is the complete evolution of human cycle. This is the journey which I would be explaining. Because that is the most basic part of Vedic astrology. That's the most basic part. And this is the foundation. The more we strengthen the foundation, more it would be easy to understand the higher lessons or higher stages of astrology. You should be thorough with it. First of all, you need to understand. Oh, this is first, this is second. Clear? This is you need to memorize these houses. This is first house, this is second, this is third. Even if do not put the number, the very first box, diamond boxes, these are the first one. Anti-clockwise, and we'll be moving 12. And again 1. Okay?
So there's multiple cycles in a human life?
Yeah, yes, this is a human cycle.
Okay.
When we, at the moment, when we are coming out of mother's womb, entered on the planet Earth. We have entered 9 months before also, but in actually, when we are out of mother's womb, there we entered. So at that point, we are the body in one unit. We are not the eyes, we are not the face. It's a complete body in one unit. When we are out of mother's womb, our whole body is visible. Then the first house is active. Okay? So by first house, I mean your physical self. Your body, your characterization. By seeing that child, one can see, oh, he might be in the later part of his year tall, or dwarf, or middle stature, middle height, okay, by simply just observing the body. We can also make out, oh, that's a fair complexion person, or a wheatish complexion, or maybe dark. So the very first house is active when a child is out of mother's womb. That is the backbone. That's the most significant part of our horoscope. So all your body, physical attributes, your physical characterization, all the things connected to your visible body is directly proportionate to the first house. Okay? Now, this is something very interesting, you know. We come across various kind of people. Okay? There are thin, lean, bit muscular. By simply observing their body, physical body, we come to know, oh my God, his first house must be very strong. Okay? If you come across a very fatty fellow, or very muscular fellow, slim but very muscular, very good looking, smart, so it means his first house has that kind of energy, and because of which he has become fatty, or he has become thin, weak, or very strong. By simply observing the personality of a person, we can directly understand the first house of Vedic astrology.
The
You know?
personality or the physical
Yes,
body?
physical body, personality. That is the first house.
So it's the personality too?
Yes, personality. It's the overall personality of a person. I'm talking in a broader sense. As I will proceed further, I will be going in a minute details. So if you come across, you know, you might now you from very today start observing people, you know. You can see, oh, he's very thin, weak. So it means his first house is not very strong. And then you come across a person, very good build, tall, muscular. Means his first house must be very strong.
So in the cycle, like when people's body changes and stuff, it's like just a different cycle they're in?
That is fixed. First house is the fixed stature. We do go through some changes. That is a different issue. That is a different angle. But in general, if we see the body of a person, we can understand the first house of Vedic astrology. If it's a very thin, weak, you know, very distorted posture of the body, it means there's something problem with the first house. Clear? Now the child is just come out of the mother's womb. Clear with your first house? In Vedic astrology, first house. Yes? You can
Well, I just feel like some people like go from really thin to like really muscular and stuff like that, so I don't understand how it's fixed.
Then there is a possibility of expanding the first house. So it means the personality is strong. He may be lean in his early age, but because first house is strong, he has built muscles. But even if you have met that fellow in his lean body, you will not feel that he is a weak fellow. He is a lean, slim. It doesn't mean weak. Slim means, yes, he is slim. But then, over the period of time, he has made his body muscular. You know, you come across a fatty people who are weak. With obese body or a fluffy body, doesn't mean weak or strong. It means the first house has a lot of determination to change the body.
So it's more about the energy.
Yes, physical energy. Now, what next? When that child is born, is out of mother's womb, so the physical part is more visible. Clear? Now, what the next step happens? If the child doesn't cry, the moment he is out of mother's womb, doctors are worried, nurses are worried, because that's a positive signal. The child must cry to show his or her presence. He or she must cry. You know why? Because by the noise, by the sound of crying, doctors or nurses comes to know that he is alive. Sometimes the child is out and is dead. So when the child started crying, they are happy. It means by crying, their respiratory system is active. No, he started inhaling and exhaling. Their second house is active. Second house means, first of all, the cry is connected to the voice, respiratory system. Okay? And this is a tradition. It was a very old tradition. It is still prevalent in India. You know what happens? The moment child is out of mother's womb and he started crying, okay, they let that child lick honey. In India, it's still prevalent. Child comes out of mother's womb, started crying. What their grandpapa or grandnanny, all their, grandparents, they let the child lick honey. And first time he will taste. And when he tastes, he might stop crying for a moment. So his taste becomes active. So the second house is connected to our taste. Or the kind of food we are interested in. Our food eating habits. You can write it down. Our food eating habits is connected to the second house. Now what happens? Now that small child is out, he started crying. So his respiratory system is active, inhaling and exhaling, and his voice become active. So by understanding the voice, shrill voice, what kind of quality of voice he has, we will come to know by second house. And the child is gathered by all the family members. So good news, child is born, male or female, boy or girl. So all the family members, father, friends, cousins, grandfather, grandmother, all gathered by the child. And the child is just looking, So it means second house is also connected to family lineage. Your family lineage. Okay? And along with that, when the child is out of mother's womb and he started crying, and what part of his body is mostly visible? When child is out, body is visible, and he started crying, making faces, looking at in a very different kind of, who are they, like strangers, So which part of the body is mostly visible? face. Everybody look at the face. Oh, good looking. He or she must be really smart. So the second house also connected to the face. And you know, child is at the center and all the family members are surrounded. They started talking. Child still, that 1 hour child is still nor Hindu, nor Muslim, nor Sikh, no religion. He is not aware about any language. He doesn't belong to any country. He's simply a child. But the people around him, they start chit-chatting. And chit-chatting depend upon the country or the area in which he is born. For example, if he is born in Israel, all the family members will be talking, chit-chatting in Hebrew. So what will happen? All that Hebrew vocabulary will start entering his system through ears. Still, he is not capable of understanding. If he is born in India, Hindi language or Tamil language or any other language would go inside his system. We do not teach a child any language. He automatically started speaking and started speaking fluently over the period of time, So at that moment, he listened various kind of noises, sounds, words, depending upon the country or the region he is surrounded by. So everything goes inside his system. So this means second house is the house of our savings, our bank balance. Everything is going inside the system of the child. So he started saving all the vocabulary, the words which he is hearing. In the beginning, that may be sound, but still the words are entering into the system. So it becomes a part of the system. So this means the second house is connected to our savings, our bank balance, or the things which we value the most. So how many things are connected to the second house? Our face, our breathing system, right? Our voice, vocal cord, our food eating habit, our family lineage, or the things which we value the most.
So that's how it connects to the bank, is because you start getting the things that you value?
Yes, he started getting the things he values the most. So how I am connecting with the Vedic astrology? So the second house is connected with all these things. So this means by listening to the voice of a person or just watching the face of a person, we could analyze his second house must be strong, weak, positive or negative.
Okay.
So now from today onwards, you would have the eye of astrologer. You would be observing in a very different way. in our conversation when we are gathered by our friends, okay, in any cafeteria, if you see, oh, that guy is speaking very loudly, he do not have control on his voice. So suddenly things will pop up. So it is connected to the second house. His second house must has that kind of planets, that kind of zodiac signs that making his voice amplified. 2 years before, there was a batch, and there was one student. She was an old lady. Whenever she asked question, she asked very sweetly. Voice, very sweet voice. When we are done with the 7 days course, and she insisted for the one-on-one personal horoscope reading. So I analyzed. The second house has those planets which is making his voice sweet, very melodious voice, or harsh voice depending upon the second house. Sometimes our face is very attractive. You come across people, oh, very attractive face, beautiful, It means second house is very favorable, positive. Okay? And sometimes you feel a very dry face, no expression, dry face. So it is connected to the second house. Clear?
Yeah.
And sometimes, his body may be very strong, but when we see the face, there's no attraction, and very ugly looking sometimes. So it means the second house must be negative. We are not attracted toward our face. Huh?
Yeah.
So from now, you are capable of observing other people by the body and by this voice. Okay? And the kind of food they eat. If there are people, they eat a very balanced diet. Very balanced diet. So it means, again, the second house is positive. And you come across people, they eat huge. Oh, big platter and this much, that much. So there's some problem with the second house, because second house is a food eating habit. And you come across people always begging for money, asking for something or the other. Second house is our savings. So maybe that saving aspect of his bank is in a doldrum situation. Okay? And every time coughing, some sneezing problem, coughing problem, every now and then that cough is there, Where to watch? Second house. There is anybody is coughing and that something related to the respiratory, sneezing every time, coughing every time, and he's not able to recover. Need to check the second house. There lies the problem. So now, from today onwards, we'll start observing people by listening to these sounds and voices, who is coughing and who is not coughing. If he is coughing, you have some problem with your second house. Get medicine. Or even by doing pranayama, breathing. Long breath, breathing out. Various kind of pranayama, Kapalbhati, Bhastrika. We can make the second house strong. How the human life is connected with each and every house. So, in the beginning, you should be very thorough about the houses. So done with any family. If they are very rich family, very influenced family, is a family lineage, right? So it means the second house is very strong. A very poor family, no good relation with their family, in which he is raised and brought up. So there's problem with the second house. So all the things are connected with the second house. You need to check second house. Clear? Now, the child has been hearing the sounds and everything. It goes into the system. He is growing older. That 1 day or 1 hour child is growing older. So as he grew older, what he started doing? He started whatever he has, all the surroundings entered into the system, he tried to use it. Mama, mama, papa, papa. Using that, for example, Hebrew or any Hindi or English. So he may not able to make sentences, but he would be using the words, or in a way he would try to communicate. He would dare to communicate. That's the next step. So let's move to the third house. Third house is the house of communication. The same child, now he started using those syllables, words. So third house is the house of communication, and he dared to communicate. He doesn't know the language yet, but he dared to communicate. So the third house is also connected with our daring. How much daring we are.
Like risk taking?
Risk taking factor, yes. There are few people, they are always ready to take risk. Let's go to Tryon. Oh, it's raining, it's cloudy, it's maybe slippery. No, don't worry. We will climb. Third house must be very strong. Dare, and you come across people who are very good in communication. They speak very crystal clear, and they have that command in their communication. So it means third house is very strong. And that child who's growing up, with whom he would be communicating? With his brother, sister, with his cousins, right? So third house is connected with our siblings. So if somebody says, I don't like my brothers and sister, or I have a very strong foundation with my brother and sister, I love my sister, I love my brother. So it means third house is strong. So by going deep into the third house, we come to know the relationship with your siblings. Right? And that child who had started communicating or dare to communicate, he also dared to stand. He would be wobbling, may not able to stand properly, but he would stand and try to walk, but not very far. He will take 3-4 steps and then fell down. Then again he dared to stand up, 3-4 steps. So third house is connected to short distance travel. You come across various kind of people. There are few people who are very much interested in short distance travel. For example, if they are staying here, let's move to this shop, let's go to that cafe, that cafeteria, short distance. You come across people, very short distance, they're very interested. So it means their third house is very active. And they're not, and there are few people, they're not, no, I'm not, let me sit down here at my place. I'm not interested in going here and there. And there are few people, they always want to go here and there. Let's go this shop, that cafeteria. Let's explore. So the third house. So how many things are connected with the third house? Short distance travel, your communication, your siblings, your daring, and communication of all types. Social networking communication. Instagram, Facebook, all kinds of Twitter, all kinds of communication. You see, few people, oh my God, 1 lakh followers, right? 1 lakh, 2 lakh followers. So they are very active in their third house. Or maybe their third house is very strong. So from now onwards, today onwards, you would start looking at people, from a very different perspective, right? Because you are learning Vedic astrology. By understanding, by going through the Facebook or Insta, oh my God, many followers. Third house must be very active. This fellow is talking, not shutting his mouth. Third house may be very active. Very good singer, classical singer. Second house must be very active. Good build, first house. Now that child who is wobbling, take 3-4 steps and then fell down, he is growing further. When he grow further, parents observe. Now it is the time for the admission in kindergarten, primary school. So 4th house is the primary school.
Just primary school?
Just primary school.
Yeah.
Because child is still growing. And when he's been given the admission to the primary school, the main person who's taking care of the child, because father is outside going for a work, and who is getting him ready for the school, uniform, shoes, water bottle, bag. Who is the main person responsible? Mother. So 4th house is the house of mother. And when we talk about mother, it means feelings, emotions, sentiments, caring. All is connected with the 4th house. Feelings, emotions, sentiments. So 4th house is the heart, is our heart. And at school, sometimes even at home, parents observe, now this child is growing a bit older, so we have the responsibility to provide him some bicycle so that he could ride a bicycle and his legs, feet should become stronger, right? So 4th house is the house of vehicle.
Like travel?
Our vehicle, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, our vehicle is connected with the fourth house. So you come across many people have a very lavish vehicle, right? And up to date, neat and clean. So what does this signify? His fourth house must be strong, right? By simply observing the condition of their vehicle, you can understand their fourth house of Vedic astrology, of their horoscope. This is a horoscope, right? It's a base of horoscope. And the kind of relationship he has with the mother. A lot of arguments, indifferences. So it means there's some problem with the fourth house. Very touchy. Feel bad. Could not tolerate even a small joke. Oversensitive. Something related to the fourth house. And few people emotionally strong. Do not show their emotions. Control their emotions. So very strong fourth house. Primary education. You come across people that my primary education was the best, but my college education is not that better. Fourth house. Clear?
Yeah, it just seems like some of these bases are like, I don't know, like if someone has a nice ego, that's like vehicle, it could be just like a reflection of their ego, or like,
No. That could be the reflection of ego in a very different sense. But primary, if he has a big vehicle, but very well maintained. If he has a big vehicle, but very poorly maintained, shabby look, okay, in a very bad condition, so fourth house is weak. It is negative. Even if you have a small scooter, but very well maintained, neat and clean, in a very good condition, fourth house is strong.
yeah. The same with like the mother and the feelings. I feel like people who might be like more stoic or like strong in that sense, that's like just one perspective of that being strong versus that might be like protective mechanisms.
Yeah.
Versus people who are like sensitive, society says that's like weaker, but like really they could be just more attuned to things.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if I like agree with that.
There are
being,
four
like,
aspects:
favorable or not.
strong, positive, weak, and negative. These are the four major things: strong, positive, and weak and negative. There could be negative fourth house. So they always try to, taunt other people. So that means fourth house is negative. And there are people, they always try to motivate emotionally. Don't worry, I'm with you. I'm always ready to help you. So their fourth house is very positive and strong. And there are few people who are always in a fear or frightful zone. Emotionally very, very frightful. They don't want to take risk in their life. So it means their fourth house is weak. As we go further, you will come to know more about it. Right now I'm talking about the superficial part of fourth house. But this is confirmed. Shabby look of the vehicle, something wrong with their fourth house. Okay? Mother is full of anger, shouting, hey, oh. So fourth house must be negative. Right? Clear? Fourth house. Now the child is growing further. He would go to higher education, higher school, fifth house, high school, and there he make many friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, right? Many friends. And he would be involved in, when we are at high school, we visit laboratories, science laboratories, we visit certain kind of workshops because our education is at higher ladder. So we are to get involved in some kind of creativity, right? So the fifth house, here the child is involved in creativity. Fifth house is the house of creativity. Fifth house is the high school and all kind of relations, boyfriend, girlfriend, or all kind of relations, friend circle is connected with the fifth house. Few days before, I gave one-on-one consultation. So I observed the fifth house. She said, I do not have any friend. Only one or two. So his fifth house was weak and negative. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If we have very fewer friends, very less friends, one or two, so something connected with the fifth house.
Is dating still connected to the third house too?
Sorry?
Is dating connected to the third house too? Is that right?
Daring.
Dating?
One who ready to take risk taking factor is connected to third house.
Yeah. And social communication?
Yes.
And dating or no? Like
No.
boyfriend, girlfriend?
No. Yes, if he is daring, he can take a step for making 10 boyfriends and doing deep relationship with that. So third house is the how much risk we are ready to take. But fifth house is the relationship. To some extent, it can be, we can try to relate with the third and fifth house.
Okay.
But if we concentrate on fifth house, it is about relationship. Sometimes, what happens? We develop relationships and it gets break quickly. I have a friend, suddenly next month, we have a break. We broke out. So it all connected to the fifth house. How creative you are, your creativity skill is connected with the fifth house. One who is very creative, whatever you do in a very creative form. So it means your fifth house is very active. There are few people, they are very creative. For example, they are not doing anything. Simply a paper is placed, on the table, and they make a very good, toy with a paper. Aeroplane or any toy, and they start playing with it. Very creative people, fifth house. And fifth house, that would be learning further afterwards, is also connected with the first child. नहीं है, कोई भी नहीं। नहीं, हम भी नहीं, हम यहाँ पे किराए पे रहते हैं। क्लास चल रही है, आप डिस्टर्ब मत करिए प्लीज। So fifth house is also connected with the first child. One is married and the first child is born. Because that is also somewhere connected with the creativity. We are responsible for creating that child. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We are responsible. So how many things? And one thing more. Fifth house is connected to our speculative business.
Speculative?
Our share market, lottery, our investments in speculative business. थोड़ी देर के बाद आइए, 1-2 घंटे बाद. After 2 hours. So 5th house is connected with the creativity, our relations, speculative business. How successful you might be in your share market, in your lottery business, depending upon the 5th house. One of my friend is into that share market. 90% of his income goes in share market. And I was just observing, he has shown me the graph of the shares which he has purchased. I don't know, 20-30 shares he has purchased, and he has shown me the graph. Not even a single share he was earning. Not even a single share he was earning. Every share has a red line. So what does this mean? His 5th house is in doldrum, connected to the share market. And there are few people, they are very earning a lot through shares, through lottery business. So it means their 5th house is strong and active. Could be positive also. Positivity depends upon what kind of relationship you made. If you always in search of positive relationship, idealistic people in relationship, that means your 5th house is positive.
Can you repeat that?
Sorry?
What part of it is, what did you just say?
I said, for example, 5th house is about relationship, friend circle. If you have 5 friends, all very idealistic, positive people, they are raised and brought up in a very idealistic atmosphere. So it means you are in search of positive friendship. So it means your 5th house is very positive. And there are few people, if we watch their friends, they all are drunkards, chain smoker, chain drinker. So their 5th house is negative. And weak, no friends. By simply observing the 5th house. Clear? Okay. Now, in this house, this child which has grown up has made 30 friends. Few girlfriends, few boyfriends, many friends. And among 30 friends, he is very close to 5 or 10. What will happen? About 25, they will feel jealous. Why this fellow is more close to this friend? Why not with me? And what happens? All kind of jealousy, hatred, that enmity, they try to create obstacles in their life. They try to do harm. So that the person who he is more close to this fellow, so their friendship get break. So they will try to do some harm out of jealousy. Let's move to the 6th house, house of enemies.
I forgot how to spell enemies.
House of problems, obstacles. stumbling blocks, all kind of hatred, physical issues, mental issues. Everything is connected to the sixth house. Now, by observing the sixth house of a person, or by simply observing the person, how good or how capable he is to handle the negative issues. Is he let go, surrender, is not fighting with the problems, then means the sixth house is weak. If he is fighting with the problems, try to eradicate those people who are creating trouble. He is very strong, even in the negative phase of the life. It means sixth house is very strong. And for example, if this fellow fell ill and for last 5 days, 7 days he is not able to recover, still taking medicine for last 1 month, sixth house is weak. He is not able to fight. 2 years before, one of our friends, we were just going to Dharmshala. We went to Dharmshala along with that fellow twice. Every day she's coughing. I'm advised, no, you take medicine. I'm taking some Ayurvedic medicine. She was not much paying attention to the problems, the coughing. So when she was to leave, she happens to show her horoscope to me. I watch. His sixth house is very weak. So she was not taking medicine. She was not doing anything to get out of this coughing. So we are connected with each and every house. By simply observing these houses, we can analyze the life. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, in the fifth house, he had made 30 friends. And all those 30 friends, among 25, they created problems, obstacles, and many have become enemy. All kinds of negative stuff have been created by these people from the fifth house, right? In the sixth house. Now, this child who has grown up decided to choose one friend. Let's get married. Let's got in a foundation, relationship, strong relationship. So the seventh house is the house of marriage, partnership, or a legal partnership.
Like including business partners and stuff.
That also you can say, business partner or husband or wife, the house of a spouse, seventh house. Because he is fed up of all these problems. Now he want to stick to one person. Get married. Seventh house, the house of marriage, the house of spouse, the house of business partner, or the person whom you are interacting on the daily basis. That is the seventh. In a broader sense, for example, for me, right now, you are the seventh house. And right now, for you, I'm your seventh house. The whom we are interacting. You are just going to any grocery shop to purchase certain things. You are there for half an hour or 15 minutes. That grocery person is your seventh house. So depending upon the position of the seventh house, if you come across many people, and among 10 people you come across 8 people or 9 people behave in a very proper manner with you, so it means your seventh house is strong. And we come across few people, they are misbehaved, they are not properly dealt with the moment they interact with other person. So this means their spouse is also in that, their married life is disturbed. And even the business partnership is disturbed. By simply observing the seventh house, you must have observed sometimes you are along with your friends and you feel like going to the discotheque. Okay, 3 people are there, you and 2 other, and one of the person interact with the shopkeeper, that security guard. Security guard doesn't behave well if with any of the person. It means the person whom the security guard is not behaving well, his 7th house is in doldrum. And suddenly you observe there are few people, wherever they go, even they interact with the police or the security guard, they behave well. So it means the 7th house is very strong. So their married life would be stable by simply observing the 7th house. So much minute and detailing is in Vedic astrology. One thing gets disturbed, everything gets disturbed. If you are not keeping your vehicle in a proper condition, your peace of mind would be disturbed, because it is connected with your, 4th house is the house you are staying, your dwelling place. One thing more you can add, your comfort zone is connected to the 4th house. The house in which you are staying, maybe your native house, or here you have taken a place in a rent, even that house, you come across many people, you visit their room, oh my God, such a shabby state they have kept, where everything is just lying down here and there. What does this signify? 4th house is in problematic condition. And you come across few people, oh my God, the moment you enter in their house, it looks like a temple, like a church, so neat and clean. Clear? So 4th house is very strong, very positive, and sometimes in a very distorted condition. It might have all the luxuries, but still the aura is negative. So it means this is negative. If you want to know about the comfort zone of a person, simply visit where he is staying. By observing the place where he is staying, how he is keeping his house or room signifies the emotional condition of that person. Or by simply observing the vehicle of the person, how well he is keeping his vehicle. Everything is connected. Clear?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So 7th house we were talking about. Interaction. Now, when the child who is growing up get married, okay, this is a transition phase of the life. Now he is entering into the different world. Life, BC, 14 BC, 30 BC, 200 BC, and after that. So it means before marriage and after marriage. Now is entering into a different realm. He will enter into the eighth house. Eighth house is the house where we come to know about the kitty, the treasure of their spouse, the qualities of your spouse. But it comes only after marriage. Eighth house. Eighth house is the most unpredictable house. When you get married, the very first day you will not come to know about your spouse. You keep on living 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, then you slowly, all the secrets are being unveiled or being disclosed. You know, after marriage, after 6 months, 1 year, all the secret of your spouse is being disclosed or unveiled. So eighth house is the house of secrets, hidden treasure, and in-laws. In-laws come only after marriage. How well you are with in-laws, about the relationship with your in-laws, that can be seen through eighth house. Eighth house is a house of, suddenly something pops up. So it can be connected to the accidents, death. Eighth house connected to that, accidents, or even positive or negative happenings. So you can say if it is negative, is a mishappening, or winning a lottery and becoming a billionaire, that is connected to the eighth house. Because it pops up suddenly. Overnight you become a billionaire. So the eighth house is the hidden treasure, is a house of darkness, because we are still not aware about. That is why it is connected to all the sciences. Which kind of sciences is connected to the eighth house? Tantra, magic, occult science, astrology. Everything is connected to the eighth house.
So like spirituality.
Spirituality is not happen suddenly, pops up. It is connected to the roots of anything. It can be connected to a meditation, because when we meditate, in the beginning, everything is in darkness. Nothing is visible. But one who practices meditation for years and years and years, he is in a position to see what is there inside the darkness. But in the beginning, it is connected to the meditation also. All kind of therapies is connected to the tantra, magic, ghost, connected to the eighth house.
Even like light magic and stuff, even its darkness.
Things which is in darkness, it's not clearly visible.
Okay.
Black magic also. Black magic is also connected to eighth house. Because eighth house is connected with the hidden, darkness, unpredictable. So, eighth house is also connected with the physical intimacy, that close physical interaction that comes after marriage. So, we can also say the sex life, physical interaction is also connected to the eighth house. How well, by observing the eighth house, we can make out how well he or she would be with his or her partner. You know, in India, before marriage, they do a Kundalini marriage Milan, boy and girl. It has been a tradition. They see the planets and houses of a boy and girl. You know, what is the prominent part they see? Eighth house. Because after marriage, they would be physically interacting. If a boy has a very weak eighth house, what will happen after marriage? Girl would be searching for some other partner, or divorce will happen. If it has very strong, very stable eighth house, then there would be some problems a little bit. But the sexual relation, that marriage relation, that enjoyment part, satisfaction. So the Kundalini Milan, marriage, horoscope, matchmaking is very common in India. But the science behind is you see the eighth house of boy and girl. So by simply observing the eighth house, we can understand. There are few people, come across, very good personality, very charming, good body, good voice, everything is perfect. So one should get married. He must have very good first house, second house, third house. But what about eighth house? And it is very common, sometimes very thin, very weak, very ordinary personality, not very bad or good, ordinary personality, good voice, very ordinary, but very strong eighth house. So that is the mystery. That is the key. So that is why most of the love affairs, they broke out after marriage. They get attracted toward each other physically. But what happened? Eighth house reveals the real image of the other person. Eighth house is the house of chaos. Is the most chaotic house. Because things are not visible. So everything is in confused state. Eighth house. One who is able to handle the confusion, the chaos of the life smoothly, it means his eighth house is strong. And one who gets carried away, oh my God, I'm not able to handle it, this confusion, this thing, that, it means his eighth house is in doldrum, weak, not in a very good position. But that you will come to know is a very close interaction. So now one has lived the eighth house with chaos, frustration, depression. Okay, it can be connected to the eighth house. Those things are not visible, you know. Why this is happening? Why? When it will be improved? So all frustration, depression, mishappening, accidents, you know, connected to the eighth house. So one who has lived this eighth house, he is just like, oh, enough is enough. Now let me come out of this well. He will enter into the temple. Ninth house, the house of religion. The most optimistic house, the most positive house, the most idealistic house, the house of God. The house of gurus,
Woos.
spiritual
Oh.
gurus. This is a house of higher philosophy. Philosophy not connected with the, you know, ordinary knowledge. Higher philosophy. It is the house of astrology. That is why I have connected astrology with spirituality. This is a house of religion, right? And this is a house of long distance travel, going to a pilgrimage. Very long distance. There are few people, they are very interested in not short distance, third house, not interested. Long distance. Let's go to very far away places, 10,000 kilometers from my hometown. So their ninth house must be very strong or positive. There are few people, they're very optimistic in their life. Whatever happens, they think this must be for the betterment. Whatever pessimist or negative happens in their life, they are always grateful. They think it must be for the betterment of my life, something hidden which I could not understand. This is the house of fortune, your luck factor. How fortunate you are in your life is seen through ninth house. How well your relationship are with your gurus, your religious teachers, ninth house. How optimistic you are, how positive you are. All the religious growth is connected to the ninth house. This is the most blissful house. Here we are positive. Higher education, doctorate, post-doctorate, D.Lit, seen through ninth house. If you have a very weak ninth house, it means you are very pessimist in your life. You're always cribbing, searching for complaints. Why this thing happens to me only? I'm very unlucky. I'm very unfortunate. Why I've been troubled again and again. Why I face obstacles. Why? Always cribbing. Ninth house negative. If ninth house is very positive, I am the most lucky person, luckiest. They keep on boosting their fortune. God favors me. I'm the God's favorite child. They think that way. You know? They always has a firm faith in the supernatural power. Very positive connection with the supernatural power. So you come across many people, one who is always cribbing, speaking negative, this thing, that thing, ninth house weak.
ब्लैंकेट तो नहीं लेना कोई आपने
नहीं. And one who is always optimistic. Oh, everything would be good, just wait. Always motivating. Don't worry. You know, kind of optimistic atmosphere. Ninth house is very good. Clear?
Yeah.
We will take a break of 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want, I'm making a black tea. You want me to make it for you?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you can.
So sugar you can put as per your choice.
Okay. Here you go.
from tomorrow onwards, come 5 minutes before. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So that I can start by exactly 11. Okay. So we have done we have purified with the water of Ganges in ninth house, right? Now we are purified. Now it is the time to work. We have lived the chaos, and now we are familiar with the philosophy of life. Ninth house is the philosophy of life. We are aware about. Now it is the time to work. 10th house. This is the house of work. Just like 8th house, 10th house is a complex house. Why? Because work atmosphere is filled with many things. Yeah. At workplace, the boss is there, our subordinates, our colleagues, and there is a politics. You know, at workplace, sometime you must have experienced politics and overpraising, overpraise their bosses so that their selfish end is fulfilled. So this is also a very complex house, but here only work. We do work. Now depending upon person to person horoscope, if one is highly profitable at workplace, is earning lakhs, billions, dollars and all that, it means his 10th house is very strong. If anybody is not at all talking about the work in his discussion, it means he is very strong at work. You come across many people, they talk about, oh, I'm jobless, I do not have work, I'm broke, I'm confused what to do and how much I should earn. Something related to the 10th house. And there are few people, they talk about n number of other topics apart from work, business. So their 10th house is very strong. And 10th house is the foundation of our comfort. The luxury which you are talking about, big car, big houses, bungalows and all that, that is seen through 10th house. 10th house is also considered the house of father. 4th house, mother, and exactly opposite, 10th house, father. Or our bosses. So, depending upon the relationship with our bosses, under we are working, we can talk about the 10th. Sometimes we have a very good relation with our boss. Okay, that person is very impressed by us. So 10th house is very strong. And sometimes there is indifferences, always arguments. 10th house is in doldrum. So the earning, the source of earning, the cash, everything is depending upon the 10th house. That is the seed of our earning. All the dreams, wishes, everything is fulfilled by simply understanding the 10th house.
Is it like interests too, like outside of work?
Outside of.
Yeah.
One is not able to fulfill his wishes, desires, goals and achievements if his 10th house is in doldrum situation, unstable. So these are the two very prominent houses. And also first and seventh. All these four houses are the very strong four pillars of our life. Why? Who is going to enjoy? That is us. So we should be in a strong foundation. Emotions, feelings plays a very important role. We tend to get carried away if we are emotional, and that has to be very strong, positive. And the most important, our partner plays a very, very important role, vital role in our life. If we unfortunately we find misfit partner, we will be leading towards the darkness. If our partner is motivated, lovable, enjoyable, our life is like a paradise. This is the most very important. But if this is good, this is good, this is good, but this is not good, we are not able to fulfill our wishes because we do not have cash, we do not have money. So these all fours should be in a balanced situation. Now, we have worked a lot. 22 hours round the clock we have been working, right? And we have been compromising with our colleagues, with our subordinates, with our bosses. What is the purpose? Earning. And what we will get with our earnings? We would be fulfilling our wishes, desires, goals. 11th house, that is connected with our wishes, our liquid cash, our goals, our targets. Our networking. This is the dreamland. 11th house. One can see our wishes, our desires, our likes and dislikes is seen through 11th house. There are people, they may not be earning, they not be at good at work much, but still they manage to fulfill their wishes, desires, whatever means they use. So it means this house must be very strong. They may not be earning much. Their work atmosphere is in a doldrum. But somehow, by the grace of Almighty, their all wishes, dreams, ambitions are fulfilled. So it means this person's 11th house is very strong and positive. And positive depending upon if you are wishing positive dreams to be fulfilled. One could wish that my enemy should die as early as possible. That is a negative wish, right? Then his 11th house is not, maybe strong but not positive. So it has to be strong and positive, both. Only then you are fulfilled in your life. Fulfillment of life comes with the 11th house. Even to search for the best partner or your spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend could be our wish. So 11th house plays a very, I think, the most important role, because it gives the fulfillment to our life, right? Liquid cash. There are few people who work to get $1,000 a day, but still they are getting $800, and they are pissed off. They are very much, in a distorted state of mind. Why this is happening? This house is not fulfilling their wishes. They worked for $1,000 and you are getting 800. So this is the very important part of your life. Now, we are done with our wishes. We have worked whole life. Okay? And somehow we have fulfilled our dreams, achieved our ambitions, right? And what happens? We want to live a life in a very relaxed and a detached manner, cut out from the world. Because at the 11th house, one start imagining throughout life, I worked and I've earned a lot. I managed to fulfill all my wishes. Now I'm satisfied. Now I want to live a life alone. Let it be somewhere in a very secluded area in India. I want to make a big small house and I want to stay alone. 1 or 2 servants would be there. They will cook for me, they will prepare, and I will enjoy my loneliness. Detachment. 12th house is a house of detachment. And one who has earned a lot, what you would like to do? You would like to spend. 12th house, the house of expenditure. And expenditure could be of many forms: giving donations to NGOs, right? Or spending lavishly, parties, celebration. 12th house is connected with donations. Twelfth house is connected with party, celebration, enjoyment. We have earned a lot. We would like to serve. There are few people who want, I have enough money. I have earned a lot. Now I want to throw party every weekend. So this is 12th house, entertainment, enjoyment. Sometimes at the very early age, we are capable of fulfilling our wishes of earning a lot. We still are not mature, but we have earned a lot. So what we will do? We are not able to use our expenses wisely. We will drink alcohol. We take drugs. And what could be the result? Rehabilitation center. 12th house is connected with rehabilitation center. And in the party where everybody is alcohol, there might be a possibility of quarrel. So after quarrel, what will happen? Cops will come, take away to a prison or a jail. So 12th house is connected with the jail and prison. And there is a possibility that one might get hurt in that brawl, fighting. So one has to go to the hospitals. Hospital, 12th house is connected to the hospital. Twelfth house is connected with the moksha. I will elaborate it. You know what is moksha? Enlightenment. Enlightenment is not the right word for moksha, right translation. It is somewhere close to moksha. Moksha is a Sanskrit word. I will try to explain it, you know. We have lived this life from house number 1 to 11. We have lived all dimensions. At this 11th house, one who has really lived maturely, he would realize all wishes, all dreams are futile. Even if my all wishes are fulfilled, nothing is going to be changed. I would be the same old cranky fellow. And he would realize that I have lived the all dimensions of my life. I'm completely satisfied. I have lived with my partner. I have lived the chaos. I have lived the religion. I have made n number of friends. I have made n number of enemies. So he has realized in this 11th house, before leaving 11th house, that he has lived all the spheres and dimension of the life in totality. So whatever was available on this planet Earth, I have seen all. I have experienced all. I have lived all. Now, nothing is left to be experienced. I will not like to come again on this planet Earth. So 12th house, house of moksha. Once he leaves the planet Earth with ultimate maturity, he will not come again. He will merge sublimed in the existence. There are few people who have experienced moksha. Jesus, Lord Buddha, Osho, Lord Krishna, Lord Mahavira, Guru Nanak Dev, Socrates, Lao, Zarathustra, many. They have come to that level of maturity that whatever the best available on this planet Earth, I have experienced. Now I have no desire to visit on this planet Earth again. I would like to leave this planet Earth with utmost satisfaction, the complete contentment. That kind of maturity arises in their subconscious mind. Okay? And when this fellow leaves the planet Earth, he will not come again. He will not be born again, because he has left planet Earth at the time of death with utmost satisfaction, utmost contentment, that all the mysteries of the earth has been unveiled and disclosed in front of me. I am fully satisfied. I have no more wish left unfulfilled. So 12th house is a house of moksha. This is the goal of every human being. And only human being is capable of achieving this goal. That is why these people, they look so godly. Once you look at Jesus, Socrates, Nanak, Kabir, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Osho, once you look at their eyes, their face, they're so content, they're so relaxed. As if nothing is, they are in their zeroness. This is the zeroness. But only few could achieve this, touch the pinnacle of this maturity. Otherwise, what will happen? You are again thrown back on the earth. First house, you are again born, lost all the houses, and the existence gives you one more chance.
So you only go through these 12 houses in one lifetime.
Yes.
Okay.
So existence gives you one more chance. Okay, you're still not satisfied? Now born again. So in the same way, as for the philosophy of Sanatan Dharma or Hindu religion, we have lived many births. We have past lives. Many lives we have lived. And again, the nature has thrown us. Because when we are leaving, we were still few wishes left unfulfilled. We have not touched the pinnacle of maturity when we were living on this planet Earth. So that is why it is said, live fully. So that when you will be leaving, you will be utmost satisfied. Need not to come again. The flag of Indian flag, if you have seen, at the center there is a wheel. What is the wheel? This is the wheel. Wheel means sansar, or the sansar means wheel. We need to cross the 360 degree of the wheel to achieve moksha. That's a symbol of moksha or enlightenment. When Jesus was hanged, a slight complaint comes in our mind. Oh God, what you are showing? But a fragment. Suddenly, he realized, no. I'm happy. Whatever you show, I'm happy. I'm fully contented. I have no more complaint. And he left. Now, Jesus will not come again. His energy has been submerged with the existence. Those who has been in love with Jesus, they can feel it. Just like Krishna, all the enlightened people of the world. And till we are not touch the pinnacle of maturity, we will be thrown on the planet Earth again and again with different body, with different face, with different mindset. Sometimes this is weak, sometimes this is weak, sometimes this is weak. This is the moksha. Clear? So we have done with all the 12 houses. And now we will go further. This is the most important part of the Vedic astrology. One has to be very thorough, because now I put the foundation. Now I will be building the floor, first floor, second floor, third floor. The more you are attuned with this foundation, the more it was easy for you to build the houses. Now, I would be telling you about the planets. Okay. First, I would start with, first of all, I would be writing the 9 planets. Actually, there are 7 planets. 2 are shadow planets. You can make a note of it. Jupiter is the first I would like to start with. And after Jupiter, Saturn. Then Mercury. And after Mercury, planet Ketu. This is a shadow planet.
KET.
K-A-T-U. And then comes Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, and the last Rahu, again shadow planet. It's not visible in the sky, but its effect is greatly visible. Okay, let me put the Hindi or Sanskrit name also for your knowledge. It is Brihaspati. It's a Sanskrit name of Jupiter or Guru, both way. Okay, you can make a note of the spelling. Brihaspati. And Saturn is Shani. For Mercury, it is Budh. Ketu is Ketu only. And for the Venus is Shukra. Sun is Surya. For the moon is Chandra.
Is that an R?
Surya, S-U-R-Y-A.
Yeah.
Surya. Moon is Chandra, C-H-A-N-D-R-A. For Mars, it is Mangal. And Rahu is Rahu. Okay? Just for your knowledge. Need not to memorize it. Okay? These significance is important, which I would be telling. Jupiter, Brihaspati or Guru, Saturn, Shani, Mercury, both. Just in a playful manner, if you could memorize it, well and good. No pressure on your brain. Okay? Now, we will start with the Jupiter. A very important planet. Jupiter is the planet of growth. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter is a planet of positivity. Jupiter is the planet of idealism.
So
Jupiter,
ninth house.
idealism.
Ninth house, like all of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Idealism. Jupiter is the planet of religion. Jupiter is connected with the knowledge related to religious knowledge or positive knowledge. And Jupiter is connected with the, gratitude. This planet is connected with the gratitude. Now, one who has positive Jupiter in their horoscope, all these qualities would be in a very flowering manner. He would have gratitude towards the existence, gratitude towards everything. He would be positive, he would be optimistic, he will have a religious attributes in his behavior. Okay? Jupiter is the leadership quality. The leadership skill, leadership quality. And growth. One who has Jupiter positive in their horoscope, he would grow in all aspects of his life. The growth is happening very smoothly. And one who has not positive or negative Jupiter they are always in a mode of complaints. They always think they have a pessimist mind. They are always cribbing. And they are always involved in arguments. One who has positive Jupiter, okay, they listen other people attentively. They will not get involved in arguments for every now and then. You must have seen in your friend circle, there are people, there are friends always just throwing the argument. No, this is not right. This is wrong. No, this has to be. They try to put themselves in a form of arguments. They are not good listener. One who has negative Jupiter. They think that they have all the knowledge. But with positive Jupiter, they also think they have knowledge, but they still want to learn. They have that learning skill and attitude with the positive Jupiter. Okay? So Jupiter is that important in our life. 9. Okay? So whenever you find anybody cribbing, always, sometimes we are in a problem we can talk about, but most of the time we are talking about negative things, pessimist things, cribbing, complaining of misfortune, then you can understand why this person has not good Jupiter in his horoscope.
Yeah.
This is the very important. Jupiter positive. Jupiter is the anvayu, is the oxygen.
He's a what?
Oxygen. Oxygen we inhale,
Oh.
that is connected with Jupiter. One who has Jupiter, he has by nature his lungs, his body is filled with oxygen. Only because of oxygen he is positive. And to make Jupiter positive, one needs to go through exercise, so that one sweat and the pores of our body opens up and we started inhaling and exhaling more. And by exhaling, carbon dioxide are being thrown out and oxygen are coming in. Okay, just a moment. My battery is running. 8% only.
Yeah, was that?
Okay, let's see how much we can do. So Jupiter is the most important planet for our growth. We are not growing in our life. There's some problem with the Jupiter. The next planet after Jupiter is planet Saturn. Okay. Jupiter is a theoretical knowledge of books. Knowledge of books. One who is very strong, positive Jupiter, he would try to gain knowledge. He would try to read religious books, scriptures of all religions. He would try to gain more and more knowledge. Saturn is the practical knowledge. Practical knowledge means the knowledge which we are applying. And Saturn planet is connected with punctuality, discipline, regularity, responsibility, accountability, our duty. When I say punctuality, discipline, regularity, accountability, it means one who has, and Saturn is connected with the hard work, consistently and persistent, and having patience. One who is very hardworking, have patience, and work hard consistently and persistently without paying much attention to the result. It means Saturn is very good. Lazy people, weak Saturn. Who always postpone their work. No, let's do tomorrow. Let's do after. Lazy people. Their Saturn is very poor. And one who is very hardworking, punctual, disciplined, on time, always fulfill their duties, Saturn is very good in their horoscope. And to make the planet Saturn happy in our horoscope, one has to fulfill all the things. These are the features and characteristics of planet Saturn. Being dutiful, being punctual, being consistent, having patience. Saturn is the most strict planet and the most friendly planet. This thing you will come to know. Why? Because if Saturn says you have to be responsible, if you are not responsible, Saturn will not give you result. All the wishes, goals and achievements in our life are fulfilled through Saturn. The only one condition, hard work, shed off laziness. If one is not able to fulfill wishes, desires, goals, it means he is not fulfilling the criteria of the planet Saturn.
Is it related to a house?
It is related to everything. I'm connecting with the human attributes first. The house which we stay, I will be going further, I will be explaining that. But Saturn, to fulfill all our wishes, one has to follow the guidelines of Saturn. Hard, persistent, consistent. Okay. This is about Saturn. Saturn is a practical knowledge. When I say Saturn is a very strict planet, it means Saturn will give you the test first and then give you result. Saturn will not teach you first. Saturn will test your patience. For example, you want in your company or anywhere, you want some designation. Saturn will test you. Do you deserve that? He will jerk you. He will shake you. from top to bottom. He will take a trial and test on your attitude, on your patience. And then he will grant you the success when Saturn observe, now he has done enough. Enough of enough he has done. Now let me give him. That's a planet. And all the planets' energy we are in the grip of. The planets which I'm going to talking about, we 24 hours a day, our energy, our self is in the grip of some planet or the other. For example, if some period of time you feel like gaining knowledge, let me gain knowledge, let me share knowledge, and you are positive, you are in the grip of Jupiter energy. Jupiter energy is working on you. And at some time, let me clean my floor. Let me do systematic my room. Okay, let me do hard work. Clean it. Wipe my floor, make it systematic. Saturn energy is playing. We are in the grip of Saturn energy. Clear? The third planet, most important planet,
I have to go.
is 41.
It's like in 6 minutes. Just I don't know if the.
Okay, so we will start with Mercury tomorrow.
Okay.
So we are done with Jupiter and Saturn today. So whatever I have done, you can revise it for 10-15 minutes. And related to that, if you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, and I will share with you this video. Let me end the session.